Welcome to another edition of Dolce Domenica. It's going to snow 6 to 8 inches today. So what would be finer than to get snowed in with an all-American diner meatloaf? And then maybe if you make some mashed potatoes, corn and peas would be the perfect accompaniment. So we want to start with maybe a quarter cup or so of olive oil to saute our vegetables in. Oh, hold on one sec. Let me get the hair up. Wash up real quick. Okay, so we're going to saute about a cup of onion, a cup of carrot, and a cup of celery. So let's saute this up so it's nice and translucent, the onions. So our vegetables have cooked down. We're going to get in about 4 cloves of minced garlic in there. And we're just going to let that go for maybe a minute. We don't want to burn the garlic. It may seem like there's a lot of veggies here, but you know, we have cooked vegetables, and that's a lot different than putting raw vegetables in the meatloaf. I just love the fact that they almost disappear. And you know, any opportunity that you have to put more vegetables, more herbs, more spices into a meal, well, that's a great option and a healthy option for your kids. So let's just take this off so that it will cool down, because what you don't want is to put hot vegetables in your meatloaf, because you've got eggs in there. We don't want scrambled eggs. So let's let that cool down and make sure that we're at a 350-degree oven. So I have 3 slices of bread. Great way to use up whatever leftover breads you have. But if you don't have that, a cup of panko along with 1 cup of milk. That's just going to soften up that bread and make your meatloaf nice and moist. Now we have 3 pounds of meat. I happen to have some chicken, so I did a pound of chicken, a pound of beef, and a pound of pork. And on top here, we have those cooled vegetables. So let's just add that right in. Along with this, we have a cup of grated cheese, Parmesan. 3 eggs, because we have 3 pounds of meat, 1 egg per pound. And a half a cup of whatever type of tomato that you have. And finally, our spices. There's a quarter of a cup of fresh parsley. For 3 pounds of meat, let's do 3 teaspoons of salt and 1.5 teaspoons of fresh ground pepper, a teaspoon of basil, a teaspoon of oregano, and then whatever spices you feel would go well with your meatloaf. Okay, so we've mixed it all up. Now we're just going to get it into a nice loaf pan. Sometimes I like to do it just on a sheet pan and shape it like an armadillo. But since we're doing a diner styled meatloaf, let's just put it in a loaf pan, form it up a little bit. Time for our glaze. After all, it is a diner meatloaf. That's 1 cup of ketchup, 1 tablespoon of mustard, half a cup of brown sugar. But if you don't have brown sugar, no big deal. Half a cup of regular granulated sugar with a little bit of molasses. Mix it all up, and now you literally have brown sugar. So if you're ever out of brown sugar, do not despair. You can make some. Put that in your glaze. Wonderful. We're just going to put that on top. Brush it all over. Even down the sides. Yay! We've got a glazed meatloaf. Into the oven at 350 for 1 hour. Meatloaf is out of the oven, and it's been 15 or 20 minutes resting so that the juices redistribute. But I'm going to have Robert try it because he's the meatloaf king. So Rob, give it a taste.
Okay. That's amazing.
Yeah, it looks moist. What do you think of the glaze?
It's perfect.
So what is that? Granulated sugar? Granulated? Whatever. A teaspoon of dried bagel,